You're a human.
You're a human,
Well, yeah,
apparently.
you are a human, but you are a Pokemon.
In
You can
cosplay.
Welcome to New Game Plus. This is a retro gaming podcast where three guys spend 7 days playing one old game and then we talk about it. My name's Dustin.
My name is Kenny.
I'm Nolan.
And this is episode 505. And the question of the week is, what was your biggest surprise from this year's Game Awards?
So, I was not shocked at all.
I told you I was going to be a boring one.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked at all by any of the, I was a little let down by a couple of the games that they previewed, but that's still not a shock. Here's what I'll say, and what this really shows is less about the Game Awards and more about how much of a curmudgeon I am, which y'all already know.
Yeah.
But the thing that shocked me the most is how many well-known, famous A-list style actors showed up to hype games and games that they're in.
You mean Street Fighter?
Street Fighter. That's going to be a movie of the year,
Not
by
even
the way.
a game, the movie.
That's going to be amazing.
It
I'm
looks
calling
like
it.
they know
It
what they're
looks
doing
amazing.
this time.
Yeah.
I mean, not just that, although there were 48 of them for that game. But it was just a lot of buying, the crossover of just games being mainstream entertainment and the lines of sort of acting and storytelling has gotten a lot blurrier. Again, that's great. It's welcome. I forget that sometimes, and I don't know if we quite deserve it yet, because you watch the rest of that show, and even though they're trying to put on a real polished performance and look Hollywood, there's still a bunch of nerds, and it kind of shows. Anyhow, that's the only thing that shocked me.
The celebrity you're specifically referencing is Miss Piggy, I would assume. That's
False. Mia
wild that she
Jovovich, but
is.
all of them.
Yeah, I'll go next because Nolan's I think will be most interesting. But I was shocked that Expedition 33 didn't sweep the entire competition because they missed one game they were nominated for, which is one award they were nominated for, which was absolutely abysmal work.
Wuthering Waves?
No, I think
Player's
two.
Choice.
Player's Choice was Wuthering Waves, which is
Mobile game, I think.
wild. And then there was one other I feel like that went to art design.
They
maybe?
won art
I
direction.
think went to. Did they win that one?
Yeah.
I feel like one other. So they were. I think they were nominated for 11.
Okay.
They won 9, but 2 of those they didn't win were also performance, and they did win performance.
Right,
just one of
the
them, not the
leads.
other 2.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they had a good night, and we
Yeah.
all knew it. I was happy to see
and
it.
I know this isn't the question, but the only thing that I was bummed about was I really wanted Blueprints to win debut indie, but when E33 is also in the debut indie category, it was kind of tough.
Yeah. I
right,
will
Nolan.
say that my biggest surprise from the Game Awards was Leon being the lead in 9.
He's not the only lead.
He is. They made us
To you, in your heart.
No, I mean they made us think it was going to be this new character, Grace. It's not. It's an Ashley situation from 4 where he's going to rescue her. I guess you probably play as her some, but everyone was like, "I think Leon's going to be in this game." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Dude, no, he's not." I genuinely thought they were tripping. Then some idiot European retailer leaked the collector's edition artwork, and it's Leon with a beard on the cover in the back, and everyone was like, is this real? It was real. I thought it was fake. I thought someone made it, but there's always a leak. Anyways, I was all in all, I ended up being surprised at that trailer. It was a very good trailer. And Mega Man 12, I guess.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It doesn't. They're not attaching a number to it yet.
There was
but it is a new 2.5D.
Yeah,
Mega
it
Man,
looked
so
like
it really
11,
does- yeah.
and it had
Yeah.
a big 12 on one of the floors in the trailer, so it more or less is the
did
new classic Mega Man game. So, pumped.
So just maybe I'll be the first to tell you, which I'm excited if I'm correct on this. I'm pretty confident that the new Resident Evil will be a dual protagonist kind of situation, and her story is actually more survival horror, and his is more action
Kick
oriented.
zombies in the face and do backflips for no reason.
Yeah.
Then
That's
they're
kind of fun.
brilliant
Yeah.
Yes.
and know their audience, and I'm not even mad at them for it. Like,
Yeah.
give the people what they want, do what you do best, and that's Leon punching zombies and doing stupid stuff. So
There were a lot of cool trailers, reveals, and awards won. If you didn't catch it live, it's worth, in my opinion, at least watching every single one of the trailers and the VODs. Seriously, you got to catch them all. Like in our retro game of the week, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Blue and Red Rescue Team.
Overview.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, etc., is the
It's too
first
long.
game in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon spin-off series for Pokemon. This is a first for our podcast, I believe, in that we're actually kind of reviewing... No, we're not. We're reviewing one game on two different consoles under two different names today.
Right.
We'll explain this more so.
Under 2 different colors.
But it is not going to surprise you if you have played Pokemon throughout your life, because this happens throughout the core Pokemon series.
yeah, they always have pairs of versions. Red
In the main line.
in the main line, red and blue, gold and silver, and platinum, and yellow. I missed yellow. Ruby, sapphire, emerald,
Etc.
all these pairs.
black.
All
I'm gonna
these
go through
pairs,
all
by the
20
way.
of them. And this is the same concept, but one of them came out on GBA and one of them came out on Nintendo DS. Is it just me, or is that a terrible idea?
It's a Nintendo move, but I won't say it's a terrible
It is.
idea. It's just Nintendo doing Nintendo things.
But we just said up until this point, all the mainline Pokemon releases came out with versions that you could get on the same console, and
Sure.
most people wanted to because you can only get certain Pokemon in certain versions.
I think it's Nintendo doing what Nintendo does and trying to sell their game, the same game twice. I think that's what they're doing. And
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good and it's not great, but that's what they did. Red was for the Game Boy Advance. Blue was for the Nintendo DS. This was Pokemon's first paired version spin-off and first released across multiple consoles. They hadn't even done that with the core game. I don't know if they've even done that since. It's a unique idea. They tried it here.
Yeah.
But it is virtually the same game with a few differences, which we'll address throughout this episode. But the other thing that is probably going to knock your socks off if you don't already know about this game nor series is that this is a roguelike. That is the genre. It is a roguelike. It is like the classic game Rogue.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's a bit odd, and I think I knew that about the Mystery Dungeon series, but also isn't Mystery Dungeon a franchise on its own? And then Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was using the Mystery Dungeon formula. I couldn't really find much about that, but I do think that's the case.
Yeah. And developed by the same developer, Chunsoft.
Which Kenny should know that name
Oh, really?
specifically.
Should I?
Dragon
It
Quest.
sounds
Yeah. Dragon
familiar.
Quest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I should.
Co-creator, right?
Yeah, they go by a different name now. They got some merger happened, but yeah, Chunsoft, same people.
So, yeah. So, okay, that's interesting then. So, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is the Pokemon, not spin-off of, but iteration of the Mystery Dungeon archetype. And this one is the first that would be a series of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. There are many things that sets this one apart from others. But one of the key things is that you are not a human. So in a world where there is no humans, you have become a pocket monster. And you are living in a world with other pocket monsters. You, the main character, are struck with amnesia. So you were a human at one time.
Right. You
Why
got like
are you-
transformed or put into the body of or something. You're still a human. You're just a Pokemon now.
You're not still a human.
You're clear. What video game did you play? You're not a
You think
human.
they're cosplaying?
What makes you a human? The soul?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Deep.
That's too
Wow.
deep. Although this game does
So
kind of get
you're clearly a Pokemon in this game, not a human. I think that's the whole point.
Well, sure.
And instead of getting down to the bottom of that, you join forces with your Poke friends to form a rescue team to go and save a bunch of monsters from natural disasters.
That's what I would do if I was in that scenario. If my
Just
soul
chill?
was in that scenario.
Right. You'd still be a human, though, according to Kenny.
Yeah, in my
Absolutely,
mind, I
he would.
Yeah.
Our last Pokemon game was
Oh,
a
God.
year ago. A year ago. Do you know what game it was?
No. It wasn't a mainline. I know that.
No.
And it's not the
It was
Lasso
on
we
the
won.
game-
It was something else.
It was not the Lasso we won
No,
on
that
DS.
was a while ago.
This one was for the GameCube.
Oh.
Cute.
Ooh. That was only
It's
a year.
pretty
ago?
forgettable, guys.
No, it's
Can you
it's
do it? I don't think you can.
oh wait, just give me time. It's
You don't have time. We're recording a podcast.
Pokemon Rancher.
Yes? No.
Pokemon XD.
Yes? Yes?
Oh, something about Shadows and Darkness. Gale of Darkness. Gale of Shadows.
Holy
Oh
Shadows
my
and
goodness. Why are y'all working together tonight? It is Pokemon XD
Christmas
Gale of
miracle.
Darkness.
I can't believe it.
It's
And also,
wild.
I thought that was like 10 years ago, by the way.
Nope, just one.
Quick reminder that the New Game Plus podcast is entirely supported by your contributions on Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can support your favorite retro gaming podcast and also get really cool perks like early access first plays, 2 entries into Patreon pools, unedited episodes. All kinds of cool stuff is on there. If you want to check it out, all you got to do is head on over to patreon.com/NGP Podcasts. We so appreciate your support.
Gameplay.
Kenny, you had a rough time with the beginning of this game, didn't you?
How?
Because you're interrogated by the FBI about a bunch of personal stuff at the start. And I knew that Kenny was probably going through those being like, I'm not telling you this.
No,
Yeah, he lied.
I didn't. I loved it. I loved the concept of it. I didn't like how, like, the outcome is, like, veiled. I guess if you played the game enough, you could learn to, like, deterministically answer this quiz. We need to explain what we're talking about before we get into the weeds.
It's a
of my
psychological
experience with it.
evaluation. They ask you a bunch of questions. Like in the scenario where a kid drops his
Right.
ball,
Your,
would you
your
kill
soul
him?
has been ripped out of your body, and they're about to put it into a Pokemon. And they want to make sure they put it into the right Pokemon. And so the game starts by taking you through a quiz, through an online 2005
Middle school personality.
middle
quiz.
Yeah,
school
like the-
personality quiz.
It felt like this thing.
Yeah,
that,
the-
where
yeah.
you have the paper.
Choose
And the
3,
question-
open it. Yeah.
The questions were that ridiculous too. Like some of them were like, okay, maybe this will tell you a little bit about like who I am or how I want to play a game, and then some of them were just like unhinged and out of left field.
But like all personality quizzes, this is super important. I really am hungry to hear what we all got. I'll go first because I did the first play, so it's not a secret. And we'll have to talk about the conversation that will take the majority of this podcast is, were we correctly identified?
Of course.
Okay,
I
don't know
believe-
enough
I
about
believe that we
Pokemon
were.
to know.
I believe that we were. I
You don't
think
even
that-
know who I got. We'll see.
Well, I'm saying.
So the Pokemon gods, whoever was determining
Kratos.
this, deemed that I was impish, and so they gave me the Pokemon Pikachu.
You got
I-
Pikachu?
I do think you're a little impish.
I got
They
Pikachu.
said I was impish. What, Nolan? It's not your turn.
I'm mad
Define
though.
impish. Impish,
I mean-
inclined to do slightly naughty things for fun.
Yep.
I don't know if it
That's
said
more
that
of a
for me
Nolan
though.
than me. It said impish for me, and then it gave me Pikachu. I would imagine it did that for you too. If
I
you got
guess, but
Pikachu.
I think
Or
there's probably more words.
branches.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certainly other
Cheeky?
words. I did not get described as impish. I got described as hasty, which made me think I was about to become a hobbit. But come on, get your lore. Don't
Are
look
hobbits
confused.
fast? I'm reading it right now, literally right now. So tell me what I'm getting wrong.
You're reading it?
The Hobbit, yeah.
Oh,
They're not
you'll
fast.
that's Lord of the Rings. It's not. Wait, yeah, that's Lord of the Rings. The hastiness stuff. Regardless, Torchid is who is hasty. Apparently,
Did you know who that is?
I have no idea. But
Is that Firestarter for second generation?
yeah,
Not second.
No, that's Cyndaquil or something.
That's second.
It's non first gen is all I know, because all I know about Pokemon is Gen 1.
Torchic, Kenny, the bird.
Torchic.
Aw,
Yes, I said
So-
Torchid, and that's not it.
Yeah,
It's
that's why I
Torchic.
was a bit confused.
I love
That
them.
is Gen 3. Red and Sapphire.
Okay. Starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all starters.
Oh, they're
that
all
you get,
starters. Okay.
As selection.
Yeah, ends
I
up
think,
as
or most of them
Blaziken.
are.
Yeah, the later
the
ones I
evolution.
don't know as well. Seemed cute.
Yeah, it's great. I love
Very
Torchic.
cute.
I don't know if it fits, but I'll take it. When I got it, I was like, oh, okay, this could be cool.
Well, hold on. Torchic is stubby, downy, and yellow. Are you any of those three
Downy?
things?
I'm all three of those three things.
Downy?
There you go. Yeah, downy.
Game.
And then we've got to talk about are Nolan and I Pikachu? Is that correct or is that incorrect?
You
That
can't
mine's not.
both
I wasn't
be.
happy.
No, it's
Mine was
impossible
wrong.
for you to both. So one of you has to repent and take the quiz again, right now.
Nolan needs to retake the quiz and find out that he's some kind of like archer assassin.
No,
Why do you always
he's
think
the,
I'm an archer assassin?
he's either the amphibian looking guy. Although no, he may just be a helper bro. I get him confused.
No, I think
Oh,
you're-
the alligator looking one. I gotta pull up a list of these.
That's second gen. Who's the grass or water?
That's
I don't know.
water, and his name is I'm Corpo. I'm Corpo.
Totodile.
Yeah, there you go. Totodile.
I think that's
Here
who I
are
was
the
thinking of.
16 starters. I mean, y'all
Yeah.
can just guess. Here they are: Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Trico, Torchic, Mudkip, Meowth, Psyduck, Machop, Cubone, Eevee, and Skitty.
He's definitely Mudkip. Or
Cubone is one of them. Oh man. I
Yeah,
want
that's
Cubone.
actually an accurate one for you, Nolan.
I could see Cubone.
I could see Cubone.
A few of them, I believe, this is either for starter. I think this is for starter. Are relegated to your male and female selection. So if you selected male, you have access to 3 that you don't if you're female, and you have 3 on the female. And then I don't know if the version differences.
That's what I
lock
was gonna
1 or
ask,
2.
because that does matter in mainline, and I assume
Yeah.
that if you went red. By the way, GBA is Red Rescue Team, and DS is Blue Rescue Team. I thought that
I
you would
do
have
think it's-
different options.
I do think it's slightly different because you just listed more than I remember seeing in the list of options, but that's anecdotal. I could be wrong. Dustin, I will say
this-
if you weren't Pikachu, you would have been Psyduck.
Psyduck.
He's probably also impish.
Absolutely.
I think
Okay,
he's downing.
so you take your quiz.
You take your quiz.
You guys.
But you're not
You
done
take
there.
your quiz. I am done there. I'm done there.
You quit playing the game after taking the quiz?
No, what do you?
he's more.
So you're saying surprise? There's more game after that?
Surprise,
Just
there's
close it after
one
the
other big decision that has to happen early on as part of the game ramp up process.
I think he was getting.
Yep, the very next thing I was about to say.
Correct, and I'm getting hyped about it, and we're co-hosting and playing off of each other, and you like me.
So you,
You like
the last part is very true. I don't know about the other stuff. You are done there after you take the quiz and you get assigned your assignment. You are done there, and then the very next thing is you get to pick your partner Pokemon. So you have a list. It's not that exact same list, I don't think.
No, it's a
but it-
completely different list.
Not completely.
I guess there's
because the
some
Pokemon-
overlap. Yeah.
the
No, you're right.
Pokemon that I picked as my partner, I don't know. Listen, I'm sure there's logic behind here and like tactics to try to like get I don't even know what it's called, like rock and fire and
Types.
Yeah.
electric
Yeah.
types
The
to
weaknesses.
pick types and make them work together. But hey, I don't care. I picked my boy that I always pick at the start of the only classic Pokemon game I've ever played, and I picked Charmander.
Solid pick, honestly.
Okay.
I can't fault you for that.
Little basic, but no one's gonna fault you
I'm
for
all,
it.
of course, I'm all about basic. And again,
fire type
that
is
was
the best.
fire type is just great.
I also
Uh,
went a little basic because I already was fire type. I went Squirtle.
Ooh,
Cancel each
fire
other
and
out.
Water.
I feel like they would
I
butt
figured,
heads.
you know. But that's the best way to start a friendship.
And Nolan, your partner?
Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is underrepresented.
Did we literally go the three
We chose the
starters
three.
as our?
of Gen 1. Yeah.
I've always liked Bulbasaur. Not enough to pick Bulbasaur as my main Pokemon, but that's why I feel bad, and that's kind of why I picked it.
You did it out of
You
sympathy. Like,
pitied him into being your
That was
buddy.
a pity pick.
And I don't like Grass type at all. I think it's really weak and underpowered, and I don't know anything about that, so it might be good, but I don't know.
It's
game-
vibes only opinions here.
Oh yeah, of course, it's Pokemon. I've stopped caring about Pokemon a long time ago, just for the record. But a side game like this does intrigue me. And in this game, we've already mentioned, it is not your standard eight gyms that you have to progress through to get to the Elite Four, do a bunch of trainer battles. You are the Pokemon.
Right. You are the Pokemon. Can we just highlight that
You're a
again?
human.
You're a human,
Well, yeah, you
apparently.
are a human, but you are a Pokemon.
In
You can
cosplay.
be more than one thing at a time.
And you are going through these dungeons, which are made up of different floors, much like it's a dungeon crawler game. We've said that, but get that in your mind. That's the game you're playing, is a dungeon crawl game, which means when you move, when you take an action, the enemies in the dungeon are also moving. They're also doing, you're fighting them, and like it's got the text that pops up, and it's like you use this move, they use this move, and so it's very much a roguelike game, which kind of works really great for Pokemon, I think, and I'm glad that this game exists. But it's completely different than what you've played in a Pokemon game before.
Yeah, your main task in this game is, as stated early on, you and your partner form this rescue team. You name your rescue team, you have a headquarters, and each and every day after you wake up from sleeping, you and your partner go out into the wide world to try to accomplish tasks, missions. There's a job listing in town that you're able to get jobs from. There's a Pokemon that needs rescuing on floor 3 of a certain dungeon, floor 6 of a certain dungeon. There's another Pokemon that needs an item delivered to them on floor 2 of a certain dungeon.
There's a lot of Pokemon that
And-
come directly to you in their moment of need as well.
Sure, that's the story-based one. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like there's side quests here that you don't
Sure.
really have to do. It's all those job listings, and then you've got your main quests that are Pokemon coming to you and asking to go rescue their baby. Which, think about Pokemon having kids. I don't know if I've ever imagined that before.
I haven't either. Well, I have, because you breed them and they hatch eggs.
Are you actually breeding them?
But here's what's messed up. I've always been thinking from the mindset of the trainer, which is really gross. And playing as a
so
Pokemon,
Ash Ketchup is sitting there watching, like, giving
oh yeah, you put it,
food so that they get turned on, and then they start going to town,
Yeah.
and then
you put a
have
male and
baby?
female one in the daycare, and then you get an egg, and then you walk around enough and it hatches, and you're looking for specific moves. It's really gross. It's big. It's big trainer.
Don't know what that means, but don't want to ask either.
You know, like people say, like big tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Big
trying to think of
trainer
something
is the joke there?
more clever
I
than
think it's
trainer.
good. It's good. So that's what you're doing when you go into these dungeons. They are, if we haven't said, randomly generated dungeons. So they're going to look different each time you go there. I don't know if it matters.
It
but
doesn't. It's 4
I know.
squares and 3
Yeah,
hallways,
right.
and then
Or
some,
more.
some
Yeah,
numbers, whether you're going down or whether you're going up. But like,
you're
it's kind
you're
of just basic.
completing those jobs, you're accomplishing missions, you can recruit Pokemon along the way to be a part of your rescue team, and you're saving the Pokemon world. So it's really just that rinse and repeat, although there is a story that comes along with it. As alluded to earlier, there's some. Not only do you have amnesia, so you're trying to figure out why you're a Pokemon and why you're not a human, and on top of that, there's natural disasters that are happening in the world, and then on a smaller scale, there's other teams that are trying to compete against yours. You've got Team Meanie, you've got an angry Gengar, is that what it is, that is trying to thwart your attempts. There's just all sorts of childish Pokemon nonsense going on.
You've got that top-notch rescue team that you strive
Like the
to be like.
elites?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That they come in and you're like, oh, starstruck. It's just
That one's led by Alakazam, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
I do
Charizard's in that group.
I do think that a game where you play as the Pokemon is a really fun concept, and I think it plays really fun. But I wouldn't have wanted it to be any other genre. Like, I think exploring the tiles, it's tile based, and it's like when you take a move, they take a move, and so it's very simple, but the story aspect of this game is what's fun to me.
You don't want it to be any other genre than this one that they chose, or you want it to be more of a typical Pokemon game?
No, I don't want it.
Okay, I thought that's what you were saying, and I was like, you want I'm stuck in a Pokeball all the time simulator? Because that's miserable.
No, I think it's really cute to have them interacting in this game, and I didn't get to the end of this game, but apparently it's very it's kind of a touching story for a Pokemon game, which is usually very simple. But I really like the interactions in this game. I think it's really smart.
You're really putting your heart on your sleeve for all to know your thoughts on this game early on. I think we should talk a little bit more about that battle system because it is unique, especially if you're thinking Pokemon. Nolan's explained it a couple times. When you move, the enemy moves, and they might start further away from you. And once you get side by side, you don't go into a different screen, which you typically do on Pokemon, but it is turn-based battles. And so you select either out of your move list which move you're going to do, or you can just press A and it will headbutt or just to do a simple attack on the enemy. So your character will take a move. Your partner might take a move. Who knows how to control or influence anything that they do in the world? We'll talk about that. And then the enemy that you're fighting will take a move, either out of their move set or they'll just do a normal hit on you. And it's rinse and repeat until one of you die. Hopefully it's usually them.
Grid-based, turn-based, tactical combat.
Based.
It
Tactical.
might be based to say that that this game was giving like Fire Emblem for kids.
Oh my goodness.
Fire Emblem.
A little bit. Think about it.
No.
Do it. Nolan has shared his love for Mystery Dungeon right now, and he loves
And
Fire
he loves
Emblem,
Fire
so
Emblem games.
Keep pushing this, Kenny. I like to see him.
I loved it.
I said all of the words. Grid-based, tactics-based, turn-based, teams-based.
Your friends, if
Friendship
they die in battle,
are
they don't come
important.
back.
Yep, and you're developing friendships based.
Nah.
Nolan doesn't like it because of the vibes, but there's a kernel of truth there.
No, because that's misleading. Fire Emblem is a team-based, turn-based strategy game. This is not a turn-based strategy game.
I mean, kind of.
It's a dungeon crawl, period. It's a roguelike dungeon crawler, meaning you don't when you do an input, the enemies in the room with you are also doing an input. And so it's not It's not like there's so much. There's like so much strategy to this.
There's a reason I said what I said. It's certainly a mystery dungeon roguelike first, but there are absolutely elements of some of that kind of interaction. And really, I say that mostly to be illustrative. If
And
anyone
there's no
hasn't
anime girls.
seen this game, that they can picture what's actually going on. And so you're walking around doing all of those things, exploring these dungeons, saving people, using using you and your buddy to fight your way through, and also doing some kind of interesting things that I've never seen in a Pokemon game before, like linking your moves together.
Yeah.
Did y'all play with that feature some? Because I thought that was actually a really, really cool concept. I loved linked moves.
I'm actually trying to think if this is the first game that would have done something like that, because that's kind of in newer Pokemon games where you do they're like in the main lines they introduced dual battles where you have two Pokemon out at the same time, but I don't think they linked their moves like that. So yeah, that might have been a first.
And even here, I think some of your moves are internally linking like to your own character. Like you're triggering a move and it's doing these other moves at the same time is how it seemed to work to me. You might be able to link them across you and your buddy too. I don't know. I didn't play with the system enough to fully understand it. But I love the concept.
I only dipped my toes into the linking, but I have heard from others this week that you can get through the game not doing that, but if you do,
crucial,
you're
right?
going to set yourself, because it's a huge
Yeah.
mechanic there, but
Yeah.
that they don't explain very well.
They
Yeah.
don't. In fact, there's a
because
lot of depth here that's kind of hidden in
There's a lot of depth,
menus
yeah.
and things that you need to learn that they
Which-
sort of explain in passing, but don't really walk you through as much as they should.
Which this is not an excuse, but roguelike games kind of do that. They've got a lot of these things that
Sure.
are going on that they don't always explain.
And it's
there's-
trial and error. Like you're supposed to fail in roguelikes and start back and try again, and
Yeah.
that happens in this game.
Oh yeah. So if you die, you lose half your money and your items that you carried with you into the dungeon, and then you reset. So you're back in town. So they give you a way to circumnavigate that, or at least to alleviate some of that pain when you inevitably die. And so one of the things is there is a Pokemon Square. It's your hub town that is just to the east of your home, and you walk over there. There's a variety of shops, there's a variety of banks, so actual bank for your currency, there is a bank for your items, because you can only carry with you a certain amount of items each time, and so you use all of those shops in between going out on these missions. If you continue to go, there's actually a Wigglytuff that gives you friend areas that are just like the dungeons, but you go and find a friend there and you can recruit them to your side. You go past that and there's the Pelican post office, and that's where you can link with friends, which is a whole nother thing.
It's like the meta progression, so to speak, in a game like this. When we say meta progression these days in roguelikes, that's much more advanced and thought out than this system is. This one's more just kind of like, all right, let's reset, do what I need to do in town, and then try again. It's very simple, but it's nice that there's like something else to do in the game other than just go on runs, I guess. Though I think it's pretty limited, really, what you're doing.
Oh yeah, the reason you've even got that stuff in the hub is to set you up for your runs. So
it's like
the
a
majority
prep.
of this game.
Yeah.
The majority of this game is just delving into one dungeon after another, and although they might have different palettes, it's the same thing. And although the mission might be slightly different, you're doing the same thing. It's going down, fighting things, just finding the next set of stairs.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: in a good dungeon crawl, I end up wanting to stay on the floor generally for as long as I can to find the new items, to battle the enemies. In this one, I was just trying to get to the stairs as quickly as possible.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
there's just
I
not
did-
a lot to do.
There's
Right.
Exactly. Even the items that you can find, they're not that unique. It's gonna be a berry,
put 'em
or
in
it's
the
gonna be an
toolbox.
apple, or it's gonna be a coin. Like there's not enough variety there to make it worth exploring, is what I felt. So I was just trying to find the stairs as
You know
quickly
what
as
the
possible.
game needs that's not typically in dungeon crawlers but would work really well is like some sort of puzzle per floor, some sort of like interactable mission
Sure.
that you can do. And I know that
or
some of that is like finding the friends and doing the side quests. I know that's like part of the progression of this game, but I
sure,
thought the same thing.
or layouts that weren't just walk around and then fight other people,
Yeah, and
more interesting layouts where you were doing strategic things like I'm gonna stand over here behind this stuff and use some range attacks while and maybe as you get way further into the game, maybe there's a little bit of that, but it felt very much like big room, haul, walk to the next big room, pick up 2 coins. It didn't feel very fleshed out beyond the very, very basic implementation of that concept.
I do like that some of the zones or some of the floors that you go to end up being like places that you would recognize from previous games, like Mount Blaze, for example, is like the lava one. It's like Dustin says, it's just a palette swap.
Yeah, Pokemon.
And it looks cool. It's nice to see visually something different, but
I actually think that's cool. I didn't recognize it because I don't know the Pokemon video game world very well, or Pokemon world at large. But using areas that you would be familiar with from other games, great idea. We mentioned it. There's a lot of different mechanics here. We don't even have to go into all of them, but you've got, a variety of items. Some are throwable. So actually those rocks early on are worth throwing at enemies because they'll do a lot of damage. There's a hunger mechanic here that I think they call belly.
Yeah, your belly meter gets lower and lower. You have to feed yourself. There's also,
I think that's,
there's also smarts. You've got to
IQ.
You've got IQ for your characters that you can level up and that you can sort of put different focuses in. And I think anecdotally, I don't know this, I didn't play enough of the game to really see, but I think leveling that up is one of the things that helps your AI buddy sort
not
of
be an idiot.
Much more useful. But there's also directions for them as to what type of interactions that you want them to be doing. Early on, I found you could set your buddy to be aggressive, and it actually helped so much for me because he didn't just stand right beside you and wait until you were cornered and do nothing. He would go just off on his own and kind of engage people as you walked around the dungeon. But again, all of that stuff is hidden and stuff you got to figure out, and you may want to use sometimes and you may not want to use other times. And it just felt like it needed, I don't know, some just tightening up and some presentation to get you on board with all of these systems more quickly.
The hunger mechanic, I think, is needed because it does add some friction to the game that I think should be there because, exploring, just blindly exploring is kind of risky on the floors. Not there's a lot to explore, but, you kind of need to, think about your moves at times, especially when you're, in danger. And also, narrow spaces kind of suck in this game. Because if you come across certain enemies kind of own you in ranged enemies. And so I think the hunger mechanic is fine and needed, but I do hate it's not a poison, but an overtime ticking on my eye that pisses me off.
I think it's there to keep you from just staying in one dungeon and grinding the whole time because enemies will keep coming. Yeah. I'll say I don't mind a hunger mechanic. That's fine, but I never had to interact with it really because I didn't stay in the dungeons long enough. Yeah.
Every once in a great while, I'd be like, "Oh, that got a little low," because I was doing a little bit more walking around, and I'd throw a piece of food at myself and move on. Because I kept thinking
there was going to be something to find.
But I'm with you, Dustin. I just powered through. I got to go down to floor 4 and set this dude free. Boom, stairs, boom, stairs, boom, stairs, done. That was my.
And you can do that.
Mantra of this game.
That's
one other complaint with that, because boom stairs was my entire motto here. Sometimes I would take multiple jobs for one area. So there would be a job on floor 2, on floor 4, on floor 5.
Which is wise.
And you can do it all in one go. But I found no way to reference my job list while I was in the dungeon. That can't be the case, right? Because then when you go on a floor that has a job worth completing, it will tell you that, it will alert you. And then after you complete the job on that floor, it will give you the option to warp out of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I want to do that if there's nothing left, but if on the very next floor I have a job that I've taken, and I always take all the jobs, so there's got to be a way to reference your job list, your active jobs while you're in the dungeon. I could
Quest
not find
log.
it for the life of me.
This is where
It needs a quest log.
this is where the IQ feature comes in.
Yeah, I need to eat some of those berries, and Charmander does, because he sat there and just growled at everybody the whole time.
Aged.
We should talk about the versions. It sounds like the three of us played Red Team Rescue, which is on GBA.
I did
'Kay.
do that.
What's the DS doing? Is there anything worth talking about that's different? It says it utilizes the bottom screen. How?
I doubt there's touch features here. It's probably just
I think
multiple
well,
visual
maybe.
screens. No, you
We
probably
don't have
got
to guess, right, boys?
No, I didn't look it up because you do.
Well,
Yeah,
right.
we depended on you looking it up so you can tell us.
Right. Right. And I'm going to, so don't guess. Like, I can just tell you what it actually is.
Well, sure, but I could guess, and I'm going to be right about things because I know how this works. You get like all your menus in the top screen, so that it's
So
not
it's
quite
just
so clunky.
like real estate is all that you get in that one.
Yeah,
basically.
and they
It's
needed it, so that's what they did with it.
They didn't need it, but they needed, DS needed it. The game didn't need it. The bottom screen is where everything is happening, and you can touch, but it actually makes things far worse. You just should use the buttons and the D-pad.
Yes.
And then the top screen does show like you and your partners, the stats and stuff like that. You got some of that,
That's
right?
nice.
You said
Okay.
that there is no touch. But so it's basically that there is a slight graphical, like it is a graphical improvement, I think, and the soundtrack for both, while they're the same songs, I think virtually, they do have a different sound font, so they do come across in a slightly different way as well.
I
Also,
think
I
it's
do think
so
there are,
weird.
like most Pokemon, there are a few Pokemon that you can catch in one or befriend in one that you can't in the other. That's why you have that link store, which I will
Right.
bring up, is not a thing that you're doing today. You're not either cabling to somebody or whatever early Bluetooth Wi-Fi, that's what it was. You're not doing any of that with your friends today.
In the cabling, is your friend controlling the second Pokemon actions?
Okay. So that's a different thing. You can co-op kind of this
Right.
game. And oh, wait. Can you?
I don't know.
Can you?
I thought
No, I
that's
think
what
it's
the link
just
system might have
sharing.
been.
No, I think the link system is for sharing, and I
Okay.
think the link system is for going and rescuing your friend
That's
who is in
more
dire
likely
need or something like
That's
that.
more likely than what I was envisioning, which would have been kind of cool if you could co-op it, but that's hard to do on handheld, first of all. Especially like a full playthrough, that's probably impossible. But why is it
Pokemon-
on DS? I think it's so weird.
Pokemon as a franchise ages relatively well. They were popular. They were well known. They were smart enough to give you starters from a couple of different generations and generations that are relatively popular. I think people are going to like that sort of simple appeal of being assigned to Pokemon and agreeing with it or disagreeing with it or having to replay to try and like trick the system into getting the Pokemon you want. There is something just like timeless about this universe because it's so popular that allows them to kind of go and do this weird twist. And so that helps.
And I do think it's very important. It was very important for the Pokemon franchise to release a Pokemon game that was not the standard formula that everyone was used to. I think that's probably risky to do, but I mean, I think they pulled it off, and I think people really like this spin-off series, and it proves that Pokemon can live in other genres. So that was cool, I guess.
I'll agree with you to some degree. I think that it's cool and a great idea to try Pokemon in different genres. I don't think this is the genre for Pokemon. Well, maybe even that's not correct. I just think the implementation here is not the correct
execution,
thing. The
maybe.
execution.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
because a roguelike with this, maybe not a bad idea.
I also think this is
But
not
I've
the
played
one.
some really good roguelikes on this podcast.
I know there's some big shoes to fill, but I also think this isn't the mystery dungeon one that people really love. I think there's there are other ones, and I think they hit the mark on later ones. This was the first.
Okay.
Also, by the way, this was the last Pokemon game on GBA. I don't think we said, which is interesting, but yeah, I think I agree with you. overall, like roguelike as a genre can work for a lot of things. Like, I mean, really all it is at the end of the day is a skin, a Pokemon skin that you put on top of an already working formula. But I hadn't played any of the Mystery Dungeon games, so I don't know how they do things.
There were enough people that liked this game, and because it was remade in 2020 for the Switch as Rescue
What?
Team DX.
What?
Yeah. Which also was the first remake of a Pokemon spin-off game.
Interesting.
And it had a new art style and new features
It
Mega
looks
Evolution,
good.
auto save, auto mode. I was very tempted this week to put aside the game we were playing and play the remake instead.
Auto save, bro.
Yeah.
It looks good.
I bet.
They slide sometimes. I didn't know they did this.
Well, they probably. I
not
wonder.
following
Well,
Pokemon.
one, you said you're not into Pokemon anymore, but then two, being a spin-off title, it's just not promoted or
true.
it's not out there as much
Yeah.
as your core Pokemon games. And I don't know if you know, but I don't think the core Pokemon series has had a good gaming, life in the
You
last
seen
few
that
years. I don't know.
latest mainline release on Switch?
Yeah,
too?
I don't know if people are loving those things.
They're not, and they need to stop. Something needs to be done, honestly. Like, and this is just an extra bonus if Nintendo's listening. Stop it. Fix it.
Just stop it.
Fix it.
Just be better.
Other people should make the Pokemon games.
I'm curious what other kind of quality of life changes they made on the re-release of this game. Because, Dustin, I felt kind of like you did. I felt like this game had lots of sort of unrealized potential and just some, like, really interesting things that had me intrigued, but then, like, didn't quite get there. Some interesting sort of jank. And so, again, I don't know, but if they addressed some of those things with probably a heavier hand than I would normally expect for most, like, remakes to have, this could, it could be really interesting to see what they came up with. But I don't know. It might just be a 1-to-1, re-release.
If you want a copy for your Game Boy Advance, so that's the red version. I'm going to do both red and blue.
Okay.
Because they are different prices. Red, your loose is going to be $27, complete inbox $131, and new $350. But
wow,
blue is a little bit less expensive. $17 loose, $26 complete inbox. That's a lot cheaper, and then $245 new.
Still ain't completely cheap. Pokemon games.
Huh. That's weird.
But I wonder why red for the GBA is far more expensive than blue for the DS.
Because, I mean, it's not the better version. They're the same.
They're the same, and if there is a better, I think blue they would say, just because they're slightly better graphics, slightly better.
Yeah,
they might have made less of them. People may just prefer the color red. Who knows? I would say like people have a GBA, but
it's because people like red more than blue. You're right.
When it's inbox like collector games, like no one cares about that.
Final thoughts.
At the end of each and every one of our episodes, we determine whether or not the game gets our vote for New Game Plus status. Just our general thumbs up or thumbs down. It does require 2/3 of the vote to swing one way or the other. Dustin, what did you think about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, specifically Red Rescue Team? Watch my first play, and my thoughts from the week didn't change. I did not enjoy my experience. Although, learning the systems does provide for a little bit more fun, because there are a lot of things here. This game is such a conundrum to me, because there are a lot more systems than it seems like at first glance. But the first glance is so plain that it makes it it makes you not want to put in the effort to even find out the systems to make it a good experience. I think it is such a bland experience. The presentation is so childish. I don't remember Pokemon being this childish. The story is not hooking me. Again, I don't think it's a bad idea to bring Pokemon into a genre like this. And I would be intrigued to play some other Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games that refine the systems a little bit more. But it doesn't seem like they went far enough with this one. And it just becomes very vacant. I don't know how else to describe it. We've been talking about souls. Maybe it's soulless. I don't know. It just wasn't fun. It felt very clinky, very just big squares and hallways. It felt so boring. And I'm happy that some people like it, but I definitely did not. No New Game Plus for me.
No, go
I
ahead.
will go next and say that I don't really like Pokemon these days. And when we go back to revisit some of the old ones, the mainline ones, I'm kind of like, I know what to expect, right? It's a formula, and they do it well, and they do it every time, just with new Pokemon, right? So when we were doing a spinoff, I'm actually intrigued because it's a different element than what I expect. And at least with the main line, you know that it's about building the strongest Pokemon team and going to beat the Elite Four. In this game, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. What's the goal? Dustin's right. What's the point? I think that I would have rather started on the mystery dungeon that everyone loves and then played this one and been like, yeah, I can see, where they brought this series and where they corrected. This being my first introduction, I'm a bit bummed because, like, this ain't it. It feels really empty. And that was my biggest thing. If they would have added some sort of thing to do on floors besides what you do, which is just move and fight and find apples and occasionally rescue, I would have maybe been hooked a little bit. But there was no conflict. It was just like, I mean, if I lost like a run on in a roguelike, when you lose, it's kind of exciting because you get to go back and prepare and try again. That was not here. I didn't feel that.
Yeah,
and that's crucial.
You didn't want to go back.
That's crucial for this genre. So no New Game Plus, absolutely not.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Apple Picking Team.
Exactly.
Blueberry smashing
Nice.
team.
Kenny, what did you think?
Yeah, I think elements of what each of you said resonate with where I'm at as well. I think I'm a little more heartbroken about the fact that I ultimately didn't end up liking it than you guys did, which, if it's not clear, this one's also a no from me. I felt like there was lots of potential here. I really did. And there were some things about it that I really did enjoy. The concept of playing as the Pokemon, the concept even of just like a lighter... I didn't mind even that the story was a little silly and that you were just like rescuing folks and it was sort of like pointless. I don't mind that at all. But something about the game just didn't ever quite feel finished to me or cohesive or like they took it quite far enough, or it felt like it's half written and needs like a little bit of play testing and then go back and add 2 or 3 features and tighten it all up and then ship it again in 6 months. Like, it just didn't quite get there, even though I like some of the stuff it tried to do and what it promised to do. And so I'm a little bit like Dustin. It's kind of hard for me to put my finger on what I didn't sort of even really like about this game, but it never quite got there for me. Little bit clunky, little unintuitive, little awkward, but some really cool stuff that I wish had worked because I love the concepts. I really do. Love getting to be a Pokemon. Y'all aren't both Pikachu. No New Game Plus.
That means Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Blue Rescue Team is not New Game Plus certified. But what did you think? I'm gonna do this next part, but I copy pasted the commentary I picked out in the boys. Could one of y'all grab it and read it, and then I'll respond to it.
The hurt. Yeah, I can do that.
Take it easy.
On our YouTube poll, 35% said yes, they are worth playing today. Only 6% said no, guys.
Wow. I didn't realize we would be that far in the minority here.
Yeah,
I
big
figured
time.
it'd be a little bit more
59%.
split decision.
59% never played. I wonder if that's just the Pokemon name carrying. I don't know.
I don't
I
either.
think so, yeah. And I think they play main lines. They don't play spin-offs.
So they just saw Pokemon
They
and
just-
said yes.
Yeah.
it's
They
worth
just
playing too.
lied.
Yeah, 100%. They're like, oh yeah, that's probably good.
No, I think there's people who will enjoy this game and have enjoyed this game, and I think that's perfectly fine. I think there are enjoyable things about it, despite our, I think, somewhat valid criticisms.
Many from our community wrote in Miss Muso, our resident Pokemon expert, because she joined us on an episode and we played a Pokemon game that we all loved unanimously. We drew circles. I love Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. In just 1 week, you might finish the story, but the true game lies a lot later, which I think has put a few people off. I don't know if I agree. There's some party mechanics hidden in the menu that you have to tweak to best look after your pals and get the most out of the harder dungeons. Blah, 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 blah. This week, I revisited Red, Blue, and a little bit of DX, which is the remake. I will spend hundreds more hours in this game series, loving every second of discovery in it.
I mean, I love that. I love that there are Pokemon lovers out there, and I love that there are Pokemon Mystery Dungeon lovers out there. Again, I think if those hidden mechanics were a little bit less hidden and this game was more refined, I want to play the remake.
I want to play
because
DX.
I think I would.
Yeah.
I want to play. Yeah, because I love roguelikes. Really good ones, obscure ones, weird ones, but ones that have a good mechanic and that you want to keep diving. And like Nolan said in his, I did not want to keep diving. I did not.
I bet
one
remake
more
is
time.
good. It genuinely looks good. Hamburger Dad said, pros. You get to be a Pokemon. The quiz at the beginning reminded me a lot of Dragon Quest III, which I absolutely love, which makes sense with Chunsoft. Interesting concept for a Pokemon game. Glad they tried something new. I love the random catch mechanic. Reminded me a lot of Dragon Quest V, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Cons. Everything else. The controls were clunky. The story didn't matter, even less than a normal Pokemon game somehow. The inability to control the other Pokemon you teamed up with. I felt like this was their in on attempting some traditional turn-based combat with more than one party member at a time, and they completely blew it, unfortunately. Overall, meh. Felt like they could have done more, but were playing it too safe.
I mostly don't disagree.
I think that the Dragon Quest connections are super interesting. When I first read this commentary, I didn't know that Chunsoft was also a part of the early Dragon stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't see the connection.
I don't know if I do either, although I haven't played the middle Dragon Quests. I've played the early ones and then the new ones. I have no idea what's going on at 5 and 3.
I'm also outside of that context, but
yeah,
I trust those dots, that are lining up for someone.
If we raise a few more dollars on Patreon, Kenny will live stream all current Dragon Quest games.
And just to be clear, a few more
another.
dollars, as in like $5.
A few more dollars.
How many Dragon Quest games are there? In a row, in order, nonstop?
Yeah. I think like 18 or something probably.
There is an amount of money we could raise that I would do that.
Tinge said, insert Dustin's first play here, and that pretty much sums up my thoughts. But really, I won't list all the myriad of issues I have with it, but almost everything about this game feels clunky and just off, plain and simple. There must be a good game in here. I'm just not compelled to find it. Barokemon Mystery Dungeon was better. Okay, true.
Baroque was better.
Baroque was better.
If you go and look at our commentary section, there are a variety of people that really click with this game and enjoy it. And then there are about the equal amount that did not. It's so interesting because it's not even like you don't have two people that are seeing the sides of the other. They're not being hostile or anything.
Right.
It's the NGP community after all. But they just can't even imagine that someone wouldn't like this game if they like it. And then the ones that don't like it can't even imagine that someone would like it.
It's just like weirdly divisive, but like just on how much people bounce off or bounce on it. It just has some like magnetic pole thing going on.
Yeah, There are only 11 mainline Dragon Quest games, so we should be able to do this. Let's get $5 in by the end of the week, and we'll do it.
$5.
That is not
is
not my figure.
For now, we're going to set aside the idea of Dragon Quest and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and we are going to randomly select the game that we're going to be playing for the next 7 days. Randomizing now. We're going back to 1997, the year of our Lord and Savior, Cloud Strife and Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. 97's late 90s are great. Golden era.
8, but okay.
What's interesting here, Final Fantasy VII was 97.
Okay.
But the crazy thing is that we're playing a game on the Super Nintendo. This must have been late.
Yes,
Yeah.
very.
It is a puzzle platformer developed by Beam Software and published by Interplay Productions.
Puzzle platformer, what does that mean?
You're about to find out.
I'm assuming you're jumping across platforms in order to solve puzzles.
Okay.
This is a sequel. We have not played the first one.
Okay, it's a bit of a bummer.
It also released, I think at the same time maybe, on a variety of console. No, so Super Nintendo, Saturn, and PC.
Oh, wow.
Also PlayStation.
That's a good
But
sign.
the version that is in our Retro Master list is the Super Nintendo version.
Okay.
So the game that we're going to be playing for the next 7 days is called Lost Vikings 2.
Lost Vikings 2. Interesting. I have no context here.
You'll have to look at the cover. I don't know if for you, King, but maybe Nolan. There is I feel like the first one might have been a rental for me growing up.
Yeah, this guy's face is kind of familiar. Kind of. I'm looking at the gameplay. It looks like a PC game. Heavy.
Well,
like a PC
maybe you're watching
platformer.
the PC version.
Well,
but yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not opposed. I'm very interested in figuring out this week what a puzzle platforming video game is.
We've played some for sure.
I'm sure
know.
we have.
Sure. There's plenty of platformers that also just have puzzle elements,
Not a fan
solve
of
thing,
Vikings
figure out
either.
a place.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a take.
I am, because Kenny kind of looks like one. Find a copy of The Lost Vikings 2 and play it along with us for the next 7 days.
Join us in Discord. All you have to do is go to discord.gg/ngp podcast in your web browser, and you'll get invited.
Firefox.
Wow.
Well, Edge.
You don't want to be a loser.
No.
Like our newest patron, Loser, who went to patreon.com and is now supporting the show.
And
so
is now a
welcome.
winner. Change your name.
Yeah. Apparently that you can't live up to your own name anymore. We want to say thank you as well to our director level supporters who support us truly above and beyond. Brojim, Sasser, Siegfried, Carson, and Jesse. And to our many producer level supporters as well. Big breath, because there's a lot of them. Here they come. Thank you to Alex, Marlene, Antonin, Artemis, Chuck, Van Nerd, Ben, Champagne Vinaigrette, Craig, Daggedy, Flumbus, Garlisle, Hallex, Harold, Hey Brother, Infinite Knife, Jay Roberts, Jake, Justin, Caldaka, Clint, Lapidus Lantris, Levi Maximum, Megatroid, Miss Muso, Mystic, Not Enough Dog, Red Max, Agent, Scotty Shane, Shauna, Snakematic, Spinny the Jet, Super Hybrid, Swaggy Taco Fish, Psycho Mantis, Thomas Tibbs, Tim of the T, Tins, Unbedavable, Zachary, and Zion. We're so grateful for your support, and if you'd like to join them in supporting your favorite retro gaming podcast, it's as easy as heading on over to patreon.com.
You can follow us on our social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Links are in the show notes. Listen directly on any podcast provider of your choice. Make sure you subscribe so that you are the first to get new NGP episodes. And while you're at it, please leave a kind rating and review. Our episode artwork was created by our friend Dave. Our video episode was edited by our friend Dylan. Our audio episode was edited and produced by our friend Dan Willett. Join us next week as we play The Lost Vikings 2. Until then, I'm still... Pikachu.
Mm-mm.
I'm still Torchic, apparently.
Cubone.
Okay. Is
Better.
you?
Yeah,
It was me.
I think he nailed it.
And this has been New Game Plus.